The streets of Chicago and the Power universe colliding was a perfect mix when we had season 1 of Power Book 4 Force. With season 2 on the horizon September 1st, we're going to follow a character's journey and we're going to test their loyalty, power, and a complex sense of duty. Today we're going to do Who is Victor Flynn? And we're going to follow the transformation of Victor Flynn and see how he's a pivotal figure in Power Book 4 Force and what's potentially going to happen to him going into the new season. Now, before we jump into this and we break down who Victor was in season 1, if you like power content, breakdown series and predictions like this, recaps and live shows, then hit your subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button, and we're on that road to 50,000 subscribers. So each subscriber, I appreciate you, and you help the channel grow by hitting that like button. Now let's jump into who is Victor Flynn and see what he has to deal with in season 2 and how is he going to overcome everything he did in season 1 to either come out alive or potentially take over the Flynn family name. Vic Flynn is the heir to one of Chicago's largest criminal enterprises and mob families, the Flynn family. With his father Walter Flynn at the lead and his sister Claudia Flynn on his side, you would think that the Flynn family will be able to operate throughout the city. Vic, he has a charismatic presence and it resonates among the city elites along with all of the hardened criminals. And that's because Walter Flynn, his father, has been terrorizing the city of Chicago and making money since he's been a little one. Now, Vic's complex journey is driven by his desire to forge his own path separate from his father's shadow. Walter Flynn runs Chicago until Tommy comes. Vic thinks he's next in line, but we know that there's an issue going on with Claudia actually being the one that's capable of running the operation and Vic being the oldest boy. In the first season, we started to see Vic emerge. We seen him running around with Jenard, trying to make some plays. He always wanted to make his father proud of him. But we also seen him start to embrace the role of becoming an anti-hero. His resentment towards his father and the plans that his father laid out for him and how he wanted him to take it step by step. Vic wanted to move into that power position to take over the Flynn family and regain control over everything. This meant that Vic had to start making alliances, some with some old rivals, and some with some unlikely characters like Tommy. Now, Vic's loyalty to his family and his ambition to put everything to test is something that he's going to have to embrace when it comes to season 2, because we've seen how everything was starting to unfold and Vic never really had any solid foundation, with his sister Claudia starting to be the one where it looks like she was going to be in charge of the family moving forward into the near future. With Vic in the streets building these different type of alliances, these are a double-edged sword, swinging between his family's empire and his personal aspirations of being the big guy on the streets and taking over and replacing his father. He also wanted the Flynn family to take a different direction in how they started making money in these streets. Now, his interactions with Tommy Egan and his efforts to reclaim his rightful place to bring him face to face with his betrayals are testing his resilience and some type of resolve. If Vic doesn't go out and try to find his own way and stays up under his father, maybe the organization would have been ran smoothly and we wouldn't have had that many issues. But one thing about Vic, it's a different day. The next generation wants to run things the way they want to run things. Now, we know that Walter, he had things put in place. He also had Paul on his side. Paul was going to be the same advisor to Vic if Vic ever stepped up into that place. But with Victor running around and spreading himself thin, that was the issue Walter had. You can't put Vic's character into a category of pushover. Yes, he didn't have the backing that he should have, but we started to see the evolution in his character and it took a dark turn. He became more involved with the criminal underworld, and that means more drugs and more murders. Now, these murders were committed by his hand, and it painted a portrait of his character, who was willing to cross the line to protect his family and the interest to secure his own standing within the streets. Him partnering with Tommy is exactly what he did throughout the whole first season. Now, showing Tommy that he's willing to get out here in these streets to prove himself, also proved to his father that he was worthy to take over the Flynn family and not let his sister be the one in charge. So for Vic, we did see a dark side. We're also looking at Vic and wondering, how is he going to get out of this dark side to try to come out clean in season 2 with all of the issues that might present itself. My predictions for Vic in season 2 will really be a power struggle between him and his family members. All of the outside people, yes, that's something that's going to be on his mind, but Claudia and his father Walter are going to drive him into a depression, and he's going to be very upset about it. Now, we do see him drinking in the trailer, so this looks like maybe Walter wants to go a different route and put Claudia in charge, which is going to hurt Vic even more and have him go out in the streets and do a couple of reckless things that could end bad, not only for him, but for the Flynn family as a whole. Now, will him and Tommy still be on the same page? Maybe for a little bit, but I definitely see him and Jenard partnering up and doing their own thing on the side, because we know that the alliance between Tommy and Diamond is going to be there. So Vic is going to need someone on the street also to have some muscle, because we know that Walter Flynn hasn't been giving Victor all of the resources that he needs to survive in these streets without being up under his power, his control, his watch. There you go. Who is Vic Flynn? Power Book 44 Season 2. Let me know what you think about Vic. What are your predictions of him? Also, what is going to be the biggest task for Vic in Season 2? Is it going to be the internal issues with the family, Walter and Claudia, and trying to figure out how they're going to do their hierarchy? Or is it going to be an external issue in dealing with everyone out in the streets? Tommy, Diamond, Jenard, the cartel. Let me know what you think about Vic. Is Vic one of your favorite characters? And the major question that we have is Vic going to survive? Let me know what you think. I'm Mo.J. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Power Book 44, Episode 1, Friday, September 1st, live after show discussion, 9 p.m. that night. It's going to be a good one. I'm glad Power is back on. Thanks for watching. I'm out.